Hi everyone, Aiden here with etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the line of LOMAX Stance hard folding tonneau covers. This is going to come in a variety of different shapes and sizes for your different trucks, so be sure to use our fit guide here at etrailer, plug in your vehicle information including your bed length, and find the right one for you. Let's check them out. So a hard cover is going to be the best option to keep your bed secure. Mainly because you've got this rigid layer that's blocking anyone from getting inside, especially when you pair it with your locking tailgate. With a soft cover, anyone can come through with a knife, cut it open, and gain access to the bed. So I recommend soft covers more so for just general weather protection, maybe if you're going on a trip or just daily driving, and keeping your bed covered up. But with a hard cover, if you want to keep things in here, this is going to keep them the safest. So whether it be tools, or things for your biking or your trips whenever you're going out of town, this is going to keep it protected. And when it comes to the LOMAX Stance, this is actually my own personal truck, and I've been using this cover for about 6 months now. So for the duration of this review, I'm going to be looking at it through the lens of someone who's lived with it and owned it for that amount of time, and we'll talk about how it's held up and how it stacks up to the wide range of other covers I've worked with and installed here at etrailer. But the way I've used mine mainly has been to keep my bed covered up and locked up for all the stuff for my bike. I keep my helmet, my pump, and anything else I might need back here, maybe some small camping trips with my wife, but day to day, it's stuff for my bike and my bike rack. So that's what's staying locked up back here, and that's what I use it to protect. So let's talk about what sets this cover apart. When you're looking at it, it's going to be a folding cover like I mentioned. To open it up, you've got these pull cords on either side, and you don't have to pull them both, you can just pick one or the other and it'll open that first panel. I've personally liked the folding style. I like it because it's quick and easy to deploy. More often than not, day to day, if I need to haul something in the bed, I'll usually have the tailgate closed and just have it propped up against the tailgate, and I can keep it in this third closed position where it's held in place by those same cords, only this time hooked to this small front panel on either side. Now, if this doesn't give me enough space in my bed, I can fold it up one more time for a fully open position, again using a very similar pull cord method to open it, and this is what makes the LOMAX Stance the Stance. They have a regular LOMAX cover that doesn't fold upright, but the Stance folds upright and has these braces that go to anchor points on your roof. Again, on both sides of the roof. Now I'll be honest, at first I was pretty skeptical of this, especially when I first installed it. I didn't know how it was going to hold up over time, but 6 months in, and these anchor points have not budged. They've got 2 different layers of adhesive and magnets, and these braces here, again, stick to those magnets pretty strong and have a small lip, so even if it catches wind, it's not going to pop up without some sort of extra force from you. For most cases where I need access to my full bed, this is enough. The downside of that is that you're blocking the back window, but depending on how full you're filling up the bed, you might be blocking the window anyway. So for me, I'm not losing out on too much there. And if it really comes down to it, if I need to save the extra couple of inches that this does stick out, then I could pretty easily fully remove this cover. You can check out our installation video on the Ford Maverick if that's something you want to see a bit more in depth, but it's just 2 bolts, and when you loosen those up, you lift the whole cover out, and it's pretty easy. And I had to do that once helping someone move, and I needed just that extra bit of space because, let's face it, the Ford Maverick is a small truck. Maybe not as big a concern depending on your application on a full-size truck, but it's very easy to do if you need to do it. So for me, that's a win, and even though the blocking of the back window can be a bit of a drawback, it's something I can live with because of the ease of uninstallation. The profile on the rails is pretty low. They don't sit out very far, so if you had a truck with stake pockets, I'd imagine that they'd be completely unobstructed because as far as the fit on my truck goes, it barely overhangs at all. And it's just a simple clamp-on installation, so you don't have to do any drilling or anything like that. you'll just get a series of clamps that you can tighten up and it'll hold it onto the bed rail. Now as we fold this back out, you're probably wondering about weather resistance. That's a big reason why some people will get a tonneau cover, and I'm never one to say that any cover is waterproof, but I have been impressed with how well this one has done. I do see a bit of water intrusion at the corners, but that's not something I'd be very surprised at. A lot of that is just due to maybe some issues with the tailgate where there's this gap right here. Water will pool up and get in that way, and that's pretty much true for any truck. But all these rubber seals around the back and the sides, they press down pretty firmly and they make good contact on the bed rails, and for the most part, they've kept rain out. The other benefit with this being a hard cover is that it can support some weight, and Lomax does offer an actual weight capacity. That's 400 pounds evenly distributed. Now, I've not put 400 pounds up here, I've not needed to, but the way I've used it is whenever I'm really coming back from the grocery store, put all my bags up here, I can swing my bike rack away, and that allows me to open up the tailgate and transfer those bags into the bed. Or maybe I'm out camping and I just need a place to stand by and set my food, set my drink. This is just a big flat surface that I know can support that kind of weight, and I don't need to pack a folding table with me whenever I'm going. This black urethane material up top has been really durable, and I love the look of it personally. This cover sits outside full time whenever I'm at home. I don't park in the garage. It's been through 2 different hailstorms, and I've not seen a bit of damage to it over that time. So I've been really impressed with the material, and the backing that it is on is pretty thin, but it's proven to be, again, just really durable, and I like the look of it. It's a lot like a spray-in bed liner, so if you had that on your truck, it would match pretty well. And even just the overall profile of the cover, it doesn't stick up more than ½ an inch, so it keeps things looking nice and clean. The one thing I will say is that the textured finish here does seem to pick up dirt pretty easily, but I can take it through a car wash anytime it's getting too bad, and it seems to clean up pretty well too. One other thing I will say about this, especially in the context of your full-size trucks, is the cover's very thin. Yes, it's low profile, but it doesn't stick down very far below the bed rails, so if you are covering up a fifth wheel in here, I think this would actually work out really well. But for me, the biggest potential drawback to this is that folding design like I mentioned. If you don't like the idea of fully blocking your back window, I think a roll-up cover probably would be the best fit for you. And if you like the security of a hard cover, I'd recommend looking into something like the back revolver. Again, you can find a ton of different fits in there for the different truck styles and bed lengths. Just use our fit guide to find the right one for you. But I think that'd be a pretty excellent alternative if you don't like the folding style. But if you don't mind the folding style, this is seriously one of my favorites. You know, I won't lie, I'm probably a bit biased after having used it for so long. I've certainly gotten used to it, but like I mentioned before, I've installed a lot of covers here at eTrailer. I've worked with a lot and shot a lot of videos, and this has quickly become one of my favorites. So I think for whatever truck you're putting this on, the LOMAX Stance is going to be a pretty solid option. Thanks for watching.